Hello everybody. So in previous video we have discussed a wireless technology, that is Bluetooth. In this video we will discuss NFC. So NFC stands for Near Field Communication. It is a very short range wireless communication technology. So the range of the NFC is very small, very less compared to the Bluetooth. It is developed by Philips and Sony. It is based on RFID technology that operates at 13.56 megahertz. Okay, so the operating frequency is 13.56 megahertz and it is based on radio frequency identification RFID technology. So the devices that want to communicate using NFC, these devices must be within 4 centimeters of each other. So they must be very close. So the range is very less. Data exchange rate is also very less. Data exchange rate is up to 424 kilobits per second. 424 kilobits. So the operation of NFC. Near field communication uses magnetic induction between two loop antennas located within each other's near field, effectively forming an air core transformer. NFC always involves an initiator and a target. So like a master slave, but the names are different. There is a device that initiates the communication and there is one target. The initiator actively generates RF field that can power a passive target, NFC tag. So it is more likely RFID. So it is based on RFID, passive RFID. The initiator actively generates a radio frequency field that can power a passive target. In NFC, peer-to-peer communication is also possible provided both devices are powered. If both the devices are active, then peer-to-peer communication is possible. These tags, NFC tags, contain data and are typically read-only, but maybe writable. Okay, so they are mainly read-only, but they can be rewritten. They can be custom encoded by their manufacturers or use NFC forum specifications. Okay, so either they can be encoded, custom encoded, or they can be encoded according to predefined specifications. The tags can securely store personal data such as debit card, credit card information, loyalty program data, pins, and networking contacts, among other information. Okay, so these are the main things. These are the very important data that can also be stored in NFC. So they are secure. So there are two modes, or we can say there are two types: passive and active. In passive mode of communication, the initiator device provides a carrier field and the target device answers by modulating the existing field. In this mode, the target may draw its operating power from the initiator provided electromagnetic field, thus making a target device a transponder. Okay. In active mode, both initiator and target device communicate by alternatively generating their own fields, but they have to be very close. Okay, a device deactivates its RF field while it is waiting for data. In this mode, both devices typically have power supplies. So what happens in passive mode? An initiator is mainly powered and it generates an electromagnetic field. When the target comes in that field, it gets activated and the target device uses power from the initiator electromagnetic field that it has generated, RF field, and it works like a transponder. So it works like a transponder. In this, they both can generate their own field. The device that has to receive the data deactivates its RF field and waits for the data, waits for receiving the data from the transmitter. And transmitter activates its RF field to send data and receiver deactivates. So alternatively this happens. So the applications are limited in NFC, contact electronic devices, access digital content, make contactless transactions, can replace your wallet. It can replace your wallet. Like you have seen in new credit cards and debit cards, we don't have to swipe it. So we just has to touch the machine and the amount will be deducted. But bank has imposed the limit of 2000, maximum 2000 on this transaction. Okay. So what are the advantages? NFC does not require line of sight like infrared readers, laser readers, barcode readers or QR code readers that are normally used these days. They require line of sight. So easy and simple connection method. Provide communication method to non-self-powered devices. So though such devices that do not have even self-power, they can also communicate in passive mode. These devices are full duplex, so they can either transmit or receive data simultaneously. Easy to use target selection by simply holding two devices closer to each other. So there is no addressing or something. If two devices are close to each other, then one becomes initiator, other becomes target, and they can exchange the data. Easier and faster payments, quick access to information. So next is ZigBee, but before starting ZigBee, we should go through this graph. So what is this graph? This is very important graph. This graph compares the speed and range of different wireless communication technologies. So on y-axis, speed of data transmission, and x-axis is not clear, but on x-axis there is range, and both the axes are logarithmic. Okay? Like on y-axis 100 kb, then multiply by 10 1 MB, then multiply by 10 10 MB, then multiply by 10 100 MB. Similarly over here it becomes with a centimeter. Okay, over here we have around 10 centimeters, then 100 centimeters, then 1 meter, then 10 meters, then 100 meters. Okay, so till kilometers, from centimeters to kilometers. So the axes are not linear. Okay, they are logarithmic, exponential axis. So first we can see NFC. The speed is very less, typically in the range of 100 kbs, 400, 500 kbs, and in the range of 10-20 centimeters maximum. Okay. Same thing with ZigBee. The speed of ZigBee is even little less than NFC, but the range is large, from meters to 700, 800 meters, or even 1 or 2 kilometers. Okay, few kilometers. Range of Bluetooth is less than ZigBee, but the speed of Bluetooth is more than speed of data transmission is more than NFC and ZigBee. So using Bluetooth we can also transfer audio files, images. Okay, but mainly NFC and ZigBee are only used to exchange data only. Okay. So because speed is more, we can share large amount of data. Again, with advanced versions of Bluetooth, range is high. Otherwise, most of the time Bluetooth is used till 40-50 meters of range. Then Wi-Fi. Again, the range of Wi-Fi is more than Bluetooth, Zigbee, NFC, and speed of Wi-Fi is also from typically around 50-60 MBs per second or 100 MBs per second. So speed of Wi-Fi is also more than these three technologies that we have discussed. Next comes for high range communication, GSM, 3G and WiMAX. So their range extends from few kilometers to hundreds of kilometers. So the speed of GSM is very less, typically comparable to NFC, Zigbee. 3G speed, the speed of 3G technology is a bit larger, and WiMAX is even more. This is an older diagram. So now if we have 4G, then 4G speed is even more larger, and in 5G even higher. So this is one wireless USB technology. So speed is the fastest mode of transmitting data, but the range is less. Okay, so this diagram is very important. It compares the speed of almost all the technologies and also the range. Okay, so in next video lecture we will discuss Zigbee. Thank you.